Microsoft is a company that everyone knows, but no one likes. It is genuinely pretty impressive that no one has anything nice to say about Microsoft when everyone has to use their products for something. Millions of people around the world use Microsoft Teams, and everyone hates it. Microsoft Office, it used to be the only option, but now Google Drive exists. Why would you use Microsoft Office? It costs like $100 a year. And then there's also OneDrive, which I think is just annoying to people. Like, seriously, who uses OneDrive? All it does is mess up my file paths on Windows. And then, of course, we have Xbox, which has not been making good decisions, like, at all recently. Like, it is genuinely impressive they managed to mess up Halo Infinite. Like, that could have been a massive success, but no! They just had to screw it up. But Microsoft used to actually make products for the user and not for the profit of Microsoft. Like, Windows 7 was a banger, and we'll never have it back because it was too good. And the Xbox 360 was also a banger if you ignore the 50% console failure rate. It is genuinely insane they managed to sell this console with half of them dying. But when it comes to Microsoft nowadays, whenever they announce a new product or a new service, it feels like they're just trying to waste your time. Unlike today's video sponsor, Zocdoc, Zocdoc makes it ridiculously easy to book in-network appointments with over 100,000 healthcare providers. With Zocdoc, you can filter for doctors by insurance, location, and specialty. And you can see the reviews for those doctors by verified patients, so you can find a doctor that is right for you. And when you find a doctor that best fits you, you can see their actual appointment openings right there on the website. Just choose a time that best works for you and book your visit within just a few clicks. Typically, you can get an appointment within 24 to 72 hours of booking. And sometimes you can even get a same-day appointment, all without needing to call a single doctor's office and being left on hold. I personally use Zocdoc whenever I move because finding a doctor is annoying. Zocdoc just has everything I need in one place, so I'm no longer sifting through 24 different Chrome tabs of different doctors and specialists. It's way better. So what are you waiting for? Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and guessing and get yourself booked at Zocdoc today. Go to Zocdoc.com/spatnz to find and book a top-rated doctor today. Thanks again to Zocdoc for sponsoring the video, and let's get back into it. So since people are kind of weary of new Microsoft products, it is no surprise that Windows 11 is not successful. People do not want to switch to Windows 11, understandably so. Even though support for Windows 10 ends in October of this year, people are not switching. About half of all Windows users are still on Windows 10, and they probably will be until they're forced to upgrade. There was even a month in June where the Windows 11 users actually surpassed the Windows 10 users, and there's still slightly more Windows 11 users than 10 now, but right after that month, the Windows 11 users drops, and the Windows 10 goes back up. Like, a bunch of people switched to Windows 11, hated it, and downgraded again. And there is a lot of really good reason for this. Like, honestly, Windows 11 feels like a downgrade in a lot of aspects compared to Windows 10. It also doesn't help that Microsoft said on record at one point that Windows 10 would be the last version of Windows, and now we hit Windows 11. And I don't care that they made Windows 11 when 10 already existed. I care that they said Windows 10 would be the last version of Windows, and it wasn't. Windows 10 is truly the Halo Infinite of operating systems. And another reason people hate Windows 11 is the UI. Now, I am pretty used to the UI. I've been using Windows 11 for like 2-ish years now. I really don't care about the UI anymore. It is such a non-issue to me, but I understand why people don't like the switch up. It's like, why did you change it? There was nothing wrong with the first one. And I agree. It would have been better if they just didn't change it. It seems like one of those things you do to make sure you have job security, even though it wasn't needed. Like almost every Discord update. But the UI really does look fine. I have no issues with it from a styling perspective, but from a usability perspective, oh my god, Windows 11 sucks. I will never understand how computer hardware has gotten so much better over the years and somehow Windows still feels sluggish and slow and has a bunch of problems. Like, how much RAM do I need to not have the Windows Explorer just crash randomly for no reason? How many CPU gigahertz do I need to just not have stuff like that happen? It seems like a problem that should have been fixed decades ago. And before someone in the comments tells me to reinstall Windows, I already did that. It didn't fix the problem. The Windows 11 UI is just really buggy and will crash for like seemingly no reason. I don't care if I'm putting stress in the operating system. I don't care if what I'm doing is demanding on the system. Why is it crashing? The whole point of an operating system is to operate the computer, and if it's crashing under load, that's ridiculous. Windows 11 also has this really annoying thing where it really tries to get you to use Microsoft Edge, and it defaults to it pretty aggressively. Like, changing the default browser now is like 4 different steps instead of just like 1 or 2. It is very clear that Microsoft wants you to use Microsoft Edge because Why wouldn't they? And I don't care that Microsoft Edge exists, okay, that's fine by me, but don't tell me to use it, Windows. That's stupid and annoying. And on the topic of Microsoft shilling their own products, the ads on Windows are so annoying. There's not even that many ads. It's the fact that my operating system has ads at all. Like, my file explorer should not be recommending me OneDrive, especially when OneDrive is already super invasive on the computer for some reason. Like, when you freshly install Windows, it makes this OneDrive location for whatever reason. And if you have this OneDrive location, a bunch of file path stuff just bugs out because no software expects it to have it. If I wanted OneDrive, I would buy OneDrive. Please stop telling me to buy OneDrive. I do not want OneDrive. And I especially don't want OneDrive folders on my computer when I'm not paying for OneDrive. It's like they're trying to get me to dump data into a OneDrive account that I don't know about, and then when I run out of storage space, ransom the data back to me. That's what it feels like they're trying to do. Because I see no other reason to make this weird OneDrive folder a default path on every Windows computer. Like, the only real reason Microsoft would start putting OneDrive folders on people's computers is to get them to buy OneDrive. And then there's also the pop-ups you occasionally get if you're using Google Chrome to try Microsoft Edge. Again, Microsoft, if I wanted to use Microsoft Edge, I would use it. In fact, I do sometimes use it because I have multiple YouTube channels, and it's just easier to be logged in on a different browser. So I would appreciate you to stop telling me to use Microsoft Edge. When I pay for an operating system, I don't want ads in my operating system, especially for software that I am already using. I think Microsoft implementing ads into Windows is one of the worst things they ever did to Windows. Like, you pay for this software to be on your local computer, and they had the audacity to put ads in it. And also stupid search features when you click the start menu. Like, why is this here? Why is this a thing when I click the start menu? I don't care about any of this. Why? At best, this kind of stuff is annoying. And at worst, it's the thing crashing my Windows UI. Like, clicking this search button freezes up Windows way more than it should. It just shouldn't be doing that. It's a premium operating system that costs money. And it's not like I have potato hardware, okay? I'm not running an Intel Pentium. It is just ridiculous how bad Windows has gotten over the last couple years. Like, Windows 7 truly was the last good Windows software. Windows 8 was like a test of what they wanted Windows to be, which was horrific. Windows 8 sucked, okay? Windows 8 was everything I'm complaining about and then some. Windows 8 was horrid. But Windows 11 is never software that I would choose to use. Like, if I could just use a version of Windows 7 that was up to date and compatible with all current software, I would use that instantly. I'd pay $300 for that. If I could get rid of all the dumb bloatware that Windows has been installing over the years, I would do it in a heartbeat. All this stuff is just annoying to me. And even if you do use like OneDrive, for example, I'm sure you also agree that OneDrive shouldn't be this default thing on like every Windows computer. Like, it is so obvious that they're trying to get you to use it and then ransom your data back when you run out of storage space. Like, oopsie, looks like you need to pay for the full terabyte package because you're out of space. Windows 11 also basically forces you to always be online. Like, for some reason, you can't create a local account anymore. You have to use a Microsoft account, which is really annoying. I think there's some kind of workaround to still get a local account on Windows 11, but I think it's just really obtuse and hard to deal with. Like, it should just be a button that says make offline account because you paid for the software. Why do you need a Microsoft account to use software that you paid for? That's ridiculous. There's also the introduction of Microsoft Copilot, that spyware that Windows tried to disguise as an AI service. This thing would take screenshots of your desktop periodically throughout the day without telling you in an unencrypted folder. So if someone ever wanted to see everything you did during the day, they would just hit to go to your computer and find this folder. It was actually insane that Microsoft announced this product like it was finished. Because not only could anyone on the PC access that folder, if somebody hacked your computer, they could just get that folder relatively easily. It wasn't secured at all. It was just all of your personal information in one convenient little folder on your computer. I think Microsoft has improved the Copilot a lot in that regard, but I still wouldn't trust it. Like, their initial rollout had like no security concern at all. I would not trust them to implement any kind of security protocol in the future. Like, seriously, that was ridiculous. But with all that being said, the single biggest reason people are not switching to Windows 11 versus Windows 10 is probably that they can't. You see, with Windows 11, Microsoft made this chip a requirement, a TPM 2.0. From what I read, this is called a trusted platform module. And what this does is help secure you from like ransomware attacks and malware and other things like that. And TPM 2.0 might genuinely be important. I actually don't know how good or bad this thing is. And most computers do not have this TPM module. It is a newer thing. So lots of people are not going to be upgrading to Windows 11 purely because they can't upgrade. They do not have this required module, which could be a problem because security updates are ending for Windows 10 very soon. But this chip requirement is definitely a huge reason as to why people aren't upgrading. They simply can't. And one of the most annoying parts about Microsoft slowly dismantling their own operating system from within is the fact that if the antitrust laws in America were actually enforced, a lot of this stuff just wouldn't be legal. Like, most of the annoying things Windows 11 does are things that Microsoft already got in trouble for in like the early 2000s, late 90s. Like, the whole Microsoft Edge being your default browser and giving you annoying pop-ups thing was something they already argued in court and lost with Internet Explorer. So what they're doing literally has already been proven to not be legal. So it'd be really cool if they would stop just doing stuff like that and making their products worse, but they won't stop until the government tells them to. And with this current administration, that's probably not gonna happen. And at the end of the day, Microsoft truly does need some like real competition. And I'm not just talking about like Apple with Mac OS. I think Mac OS is cool if you use it, but I don't think people are switching a lot from like Mac OS to Windows and vice versa. I feel like these two companies kind of have duopoly on the market, and Linux really isn't even a player. But it would be cool to see some real competition for operating systems, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't be buying or using Windows if there was a better option that was similar to Windows. Like, give me Windows 7, but modern, and you have my money. But we're not gonna get that because the world doesn't like nice things. Anyways, that has been the video. Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you're new, and click the end to check out more of my content, and have a good one.